nights is expensive. Just getting through the night, you're out at least $100. Maybe even more if you pick up some sweet merch.
Nice.
The crowds and chaos make it easy to think that you've wasted all of that money. And that's why I'm here. To prevent you from making rookie mistakes, wasting your time, or just feeling like you didn't get your money's worth out of the event. I'm Billium, and this will be my 13th year attending HHN. Normally, I'm a terrible student, but HHN is the one thing that I know, so make sure you stay to the end of this video because it is stuffed with memes and information. Also, check out my trivia live stream right here on August 30th, with every correct answer revealing some HHN 32 spoilers, so don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any special live streams. My first Billiumaire tip is to have a game plan and know what you want to accomplish during your night at HHN. Personally, I go to the event for the haunted houses. The level of detail is unmatched, and you can't experience such iconic properties with this big of a budget at any other event. But for some people, the haunts are too intense or too predictable, and I know many people who are happy spending the night just in the scare zones. With actors given free roam over the streets, these zones are phenomenal for people watching and unexpected scares, and some of them even feature pop-up shows throughout the night, like this year's Vamp 69 Scare Zone in New York. Speaking of shows, Halloween Nightmare Fuel is a crowd-pleasing dance and stunt show in the Fear Factor Theater, and if you want to see that, just remember to arrive 30 minutes early because seating will be limited. You can experience all of this in a single night at HHN if you play your cards right, but it's most important to focus on what you want to accomplish so you don't leave with regrets. And if you want to get every single haunt done at least once, Billiumaire tip number 2 is to arrive early, but more importantly, stay late. HHN runs from 6:30 p.m. to 2 a.m. every single night, and if you aren't there at least an hour before, these are the crowds you're going to be dealing with, and they are not fun. I always recommend purchasing a Scream early ticket or regular daytime admission to Universal Studios because you can utilize the Stay and Scream areas inside the park for early entry to a few haunts. There's still crowds, but I'll show you why this is such a big deal. People tend to head straight for the closest haunts or the big IP headliners seen in all the marketing materials. Being there early or utilizing Stay and Scream means that you can beat the crowds into those big name haunts, but you can't beat them into everything. Get there early to be towards the front of the mob, and always start in the back of the park so you can knock out these 4 haunts in order before the crowds get there. Maybe even more if you're lucky. And you do want to knock out as many haunts as you can in that first hour, because once the park is busy, it's busy. That's why you'll want to conserve your energy to stay as late as you can. Starting around midnight, the crowds majorly thin out, and near everything is a walk-on by 1:30 a.m., which means that you can marathon your favorite haunt multiple times in the last half hour, or finish up the haunts that were just crazy busy all night. With the beginning and the ending of the event being so much less crowded, my third Billiumaire tip is to plan a smart route that doesn't waste your time. You want to reduce walking from one end of the park all the way to the other just to hit up certain haunts, and the 6 haunts located around the New York area all have entrances pretty close together, which lets you capitalize on any short waits that pop up on the Universal Orlando app without too much of a jog. Since we've learned that 2.5-hour wait for Dueling Dragons will be a lot shorter later on, you don't need to waste your time on long lines right now. That single haunt would lose 33% of your entire night, so be smart about your time. Instead, while the park is this busy, enjoy the atmosphere of the event. Hang out in the scare zones or enjoy some specialty food items, but be prepared to wait in long lines for those too. Also remember that all the rides and even the tribute store are open during regular daytime park hours, and besides a sweet night ride on Rip Ride Rocket, these experiences are exactly the same as they are during the day and sometimes even busier. So make sure you still visit a couple of haunts. The last few hours may be slow, but you don't want to leave too much for the end of the night. Knowing that it's going to be a long night, you've got to be prepared. Make sure you eat your Panda Express before you get in the park. And while arriving early sounds great in concept, this is still Florida. At 5 p.m. it's still humid, and either sunny and 100 degrees out, or rainy and storming, neither of which are quite ideal for entering a haunted house. My fourth Billiumaire tip is to bring all the tools that you need, even those unconventional ones. You might be chuckling about the eye patch, but this is going to give you the most bang for your buck. You're already spending hundreds of dollars on the the event. Do you want to lose out on all that detail for hours until it's dark out and your eyes adjust? Wear an eye patch in the queue and swap it to the other eye once you're inside. The difference is night and day, literally. And if you're only going one night and this might be your only visit in that particular haunt, you don't want to feel cheated out of your time and money. You could also wear heavy-duty sunglasses or just cup your hand around your eye, but I've found the eye patch tends to be the most successful. Now you'll also want to bring a small umbrella, not just for the rain, but because waiting in that direct Florida sun can be brutal. This can help prevent sunburn and overheating, and a personal umbrella can fit right into your cargo shorts. These tools will save your life while you wait for the event to open. After being exhausted from a crazy long night, all I can say is Billiumaire tip number 5 is to stay on site at Universal. Walking to or shuttling back to one of those hotels is so much better than having to drive, and some even have their restaurants open until 3 a.m. for a late night snack. Last year, Cabana Bay had the Universal Monsters Gallery of Legends, which provided some really cool photo opportunities, and this year it'll be overtaken by Chucky. There's also the Dead Coconut Club in City Walk and themed Universal Monsters photo ops and drinks at every hotel, so the fun doesn't have to stop when the night does. You can also shuttle the City Walk pretty quickly if there's any HHN goodies that you forgot. Best of all, that exclusive resort entrance mentioned earlier will lead you right to the haunt closest to the front, which should be Blood Moon Dark Offerings this year. And even though we've established that you can complete the entire event without any extras, my final Billiumaire tip is to save up the money for express and early entry. Now you will miss the opening scaremony if you do stay and scream, but getting a head start on your night is so much more worth it. Those are your insurance policy that your night will go smoothly, and the nature of this event means that the haunts are so timing dependent. There's a big chance you might miss a cool effect or a crazy scare if you just go through one time, so even though you can do it all with just your HHN ticket, you still might feel like you missed out on some of the best parts. Would you rather see a movie in the front row of the theater, or pay a little bit extra for a reclining seat with a better view? And do remember that express passes are single use, so if you wasted on a haunt that's only a 10-minute wait at the start of the event, congratulations, you played yourself. While the express queues may have a lot less walking, save the express for when the waits look like this. Now, I'm not going to talk about RIP tours because personally, I think Express and Stay and Scream are a better deal, allowing you to be on your time and no one else's. But if those perks fit your plan you created after Billiumaire tip number 1, by all means splurge for it. And if you do want to hear my more detailed thoughts on these RIP tours, let me know down in the comments. If you follow these tips, you're sure to have an action-packed and memorable night at HHN. Life is hard right now, and you deserve to treat yourself to the best time of your life at a spectacular event that'll be just a memory in 2 months. Consider subscribing to the channel for more zany Billiumaire content and live streams, and I really do want to hear how these tips worked for you down in the comments. Shout out to Horror Night Nightmares for the incredible unofficial guide, and until next time, make sure you go make the world a better place. This is 6 Billium, signing off.